Hello everyone, this is going to be a shortish video and I just show how I make ladders. I've changed my process a little bit from a couple of builds ago and just streamlined the process a little bit. Let's get on to the build. Alrighty, on to the build. So what you need is a couple of cable ties, and these ones are 5mm across, and then something to go on the outside. So here I'm using chipboard and I've just cut it into a strip 5mm wide. And then you need some wire, and my wire is 1mm, and a pin vise and a drill bit which matches the diameter of the wire. Now what I've done is I've made a template on a bit of cardboard, and I've just glued some straight strips of chipboard down 5mm apart, so this is going to hold the cable ties. So I snip the ends off the cable ties, whack them into that template, and then I tape it all down. Here I use medical tape. It'd be better to use masking tape, but hey ho. Now this is going to be my template, so I won't use this one. And I measure a line straight down the centre and then mark it off in centimetre intervals. That's how far I want my rungs spaced. Then, using a hobby knife or X-Acto knife, I just dig in a little bit on each of those marks I've just made, and then I drill through with my pin vise, trying to keep it as straight as possible. Alrighty, so we have our base cable tie done now. What I do now, grab two cable ties, snip the ends off, feed them into my cardboard template, put the base cable tie on top, tape it all down, and then drill through the pilot holes, trying to keep it as straight as possible. And this did work. 2 at a time is probably the most I would do, unless I made a better cardboard template. And then what I do is just feed the wire through those holes all the way along. Sorry about the camera angles on this one, my head does get in the way several times. But what I do, using needle nose pliers, I straighten out the cable ties, keeping the wires in. And I straighten out so the gap is 1 centimetre all the way along. Then just using super glue, I go along and glue all of those wires into place. Next up, just go along with snips, snip off all those exposed wires, trying to keep it as flush as possible. And then for this one I use PVA, but you could use hot glue if you wanted to, or even super glue probably. But I just run some glue down the outsides and stick on those chipboard side pieces, and then I wedge it all into place with some paint pots. I'll probably use this method again, but I'm going to make another cardboard template so it will just hold in place. Now, because I've used wire for the rungs, it gives the possibility to damage them and bend them. So I go in with the snips again, snip one of them, snip a little section out, and then bend the other two pieces down a little bit so, it looks like some damage. I like this. On to sealing. I've just mixed up some Mod Podge, water and black paint, and I coat the entire thing with this. After this is dried, it's given it a nice base of black, which is fine for what I want to do. I give it a dry brush, or a pretty heavy dry brush of silver, and then down the outsides I want them to be hazard stripes, so I just paint these matte black. Alrighty, I mask off where I want the stripes to be. I use a lot of medical tape for this, but honestly it didn't work that well. The paint went through in some places, so I had to touch it up again. I definitely need to get some more masking tape. I ran out. I just mask it off, then sponge on white, wait for that to dry, sponge on yellow, peel off all the tape, and then fix up any mistakes I've made. Almost there. I just give it a once over with my homemade black wash, wait for that to dry, and then onto a few rust effects. I just sponge on some burnt umber and then a bit of orange on top of that. And there we go, that's my ladder complete. Fairly quick process, and I think with practice this will speed up. That's the end of this one. Here I show some photos of the ladder in use with one of my previous projects, and I think it looks good. I'll continue using this method. as usual, if you've liked anything in this video, hit that like button, subscribe if you want to stay up to date with my content, and leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you, and I will get back to you. So that's it, and I'll see you in the next one.